Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody around the world. Here we are back again with an episode of Blossoms Journal. So I, Dr. Shamenaz, from the team of Blossoms Journal and also Wildfire Publication, welcome you all on our Facebook page. Sorry, we are not able to do live on Blossoms Journal page, but Progressive Literary and Cultural Society is also connected with Blossom Journal, and Blossom Journal and is an integral part of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society. In the same way, PLC is an integral part of Blossom Journal, and in the same way, we are connected to the Wildfire Publication run by President Suzanne Joyner Stumph of United States and Deborah Brooks Langford, the Vice President, and together we have also in collaboration with Annette Tarpley, the founder of Passion of Poetry. So a very happy Easter from the team of Blossom Journal, PLCS, Progressive Literary Cultural Society, Wildfire Publication and Passion for Poetry. Keep writing, keep inspiring. So today we will be taking an interview of our friend Helen Sarita from Philippines, and the interviewer is a very own, very popular face in the Indian subcontinent, whether it is India or Pakistan. A lady with her charming face is very popular in the Indian community also, Annette Tarpley. So she will be interviewing her Helen Sarita on behalf of Deborah Brooks Langford because she is having some health issue. So Deborah, this is for you. We are doing a part on your behalf. Let me introduce Annette first and then Deborah. So Annette Tarpley hails from the United States of America, originally from Innova, but now she resides in Virginia. She is the mother of 3 grown children and the grandmother of 4 grandsons. Annette works as a nurse practitioner by day and poet by night, which she recently rekindled and has been writing with fervor. Having a 40-year nursing career, she has aided in some of her pieces, poetic pieces, and include the subject of domestic violence and all aspects of crime and violence, for which she has cared for hundreds of victims of crime and violence, having worked as a forensic nurse examiner for 15 years. New to the online Facebook community, in brief span of time, she has received numerous accolades and awards, including feature poet, poem of the day, poem of the month, honored twice for Poet of the Year 2020, and several published poems on online poetic site. There is a big introduction of her, but cutting short, we can say that she is the founder of Passion of Poetry and an active member of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society. She is also signed on to Sparrow Poetry video, which has been created to highlight poetry which she and other poet have recited. So Annette, welcome you, my friend. Good to see you again, and good that this COVID has given us opportunity to meet again and again. Now, let me introduce our very own Deborah, whom we have connected, who since 6 years, and who has brought we ladies together, like me, Helen, Tracy, and Suzanne. She also introduced her to Suzanne, Tony, and many other. She was the one who has given us international platform of poetry. So Deborah, she is an author and poetess, Deborah Brooks Langford, and she is the Vice President and Marketing Director and co-owner of Wildfire Publication LLC and Wildfire Magazine. She is a published author of 54 books. My God, you can find her on Lulu, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble. Deborah, you are indeed our inspiration. She has been writing professionally since 2010, but poetry since she was in high school. She was born in North Carolina. Her father was in the army. They traveled all over Europe, and then she married a Navy man and traveled some more places. They lived in Germany and Spain and Turkey. Her father's side of the family comes from Cherokee, North Carolina, and her mother family are English. Deborah is a mother and grandmother and loves life. She dedicates everything she does to her Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and to the memory of her sweet mother. She has been writing poems all her life. When she was in school, she would write instead of listening and dreaming of different poems and stories. Her passion is writing poetry. Deborah loves to write, and if she does not write, she feels very depressed. Love you, dear Dave. Love from your Shami and Helen. We love you. And a very own Helen. Now, an entrepreneur, a poet, an inspirational woman, what not. And recently, she has launched international magazine, Blossoms Journal, which is blossoming, and which is also blossoming us also. So let me introduce Helen. Helen Sarita is a mother of 5 well-raised children and a grandmother of 6 kiddos. She doesn't seem she is a grandmother. Because of her interest and love in literature and writing, she enrolled herself in an online study on journalism at Atlantic International University, AIU, an online school based in Honolulu, Hawaii. She has already published 2 poetry books in Lulu International Publishing Company, North Carolina, USA, entitled It's About Life and Language of Love. She was 4-time Golden Awardee in the Love Poetry Group competition on Facebook owned by Deborah Brooks Langford. She is also in several anthologies, book published in the USA, India and around the world. She was once a contributor in the Poetry Society section in the Filipino Expat magazine and Kabayan weekly newspaper in Dubai, UAE. Helen is also an entrepreneur. She is the owner and general manager of ME at Your Service Supply, OPE. ME stand for Mother Eagle, which characterizes her personality as she soars high during the storm like an eagle. She currently venture into magazine publishing business named Blossoms Journal, as I already have introduced. This magazine will soon touch and inspire many Filipino hearts and some nationality as well. This magazine will be one of the best magazine around the world. This we all wish, because Helen is working very hard. And so over to you, these 2 lovely ladies, for the interview. Annette, the stage is yours. Yes. Happy. The stage is yours, my dear.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with both these lovely ladies who I adore, both of them. And recently Helen has joined my team on the Passionate Poetry and has been just a wonderful asset. I'm so glad to have you, Helen. You're wonderful. But what would you say, Helen, inspires your writing? What is the inspiration behind it?
Okay, Annette, I am very much inspired by the people who believed in my talent, to those who believed in the kindness of my heart and truthfulness of my soul behind my flows.
Very good. And you do have a wonderful soul. You do. This question is from Williams G. Mavali. He's part of our team too. He asked, what inspired you to write your first poetic lines? Was it in your youth, when you were a child? When did that occur?
Actually, I consider myself a late bloomer in poetry. I wrote my first poem when I was title. Okay, thank you, William G. Sir, for your question. So that's it. I didn't write it in my younger days or when I was a kid.
Very good. I can understand the late blooming thing, so I understand now. So, would you mind reading your poem, It's About Time, to us?
Okay. It's just actually a short poem though, and I wrote the poem inside my car 20 years ago, and I realized I could You know what? I did it in just less than 10 minutes. So I said, "Oh, I can write a poem." So this is it. It's about time. I'm sorry because I'm coughing. Anyway, it's about time to use the gift, the wish from heaven I had received. Keeping this inside is greed to my brethren hunger to be fed. It's about time to glitter soon the ample brilliant colors of my stones that God provided to me unselfishly because He loves me so dearly. It's about time to let my heart speak the beauty of this world so great, and it's about time people should know all the wonders it may serve through. That's simple. Thank you.
Very beautiful. So it kind of talks about your journey through poetry. It's about time. And what would you, now that you're internationally known, I want to ask you, is that something that you've always dreamed of, being a poet, being well known, or is it something that has just come to you?
Okay, my answer, Annette, is never. I didn't dream of any grand achievements in my life. If I supposedly did, I think I need to establish myself before getting into marriage. When I was into adversities, I remember my only desire to survive was thinking to buy and sell vegetables from our place to deliver them to the big market. That was the only dream I have had, I remember. And when I have the money, I will dine and eat delicious food that I was craving. That's it. And I wanted to see myself like a, fat woman carrying a big shoulder bag with full of lists and of course cash, because I was so super thin that I looked so old than my age. I remember that was my simplest dream in my life, but life, has more to offer, and God's plan is indeed perfect than ours. The mountain I soared and the road I crossed were never smooth. I experienced failures, yet I never stopped until I see myself in content.
Very good. You certainly are an inspiration, then. So,
Thank you.
how do you measure your contentment? Are you content now in life? Have you reached that level of contentment?
Okay. For me, even if you are at the peak of your success, but you are not happy, you are not in contentment. This is how I measure happiness or joy. Actually, it is not measured by how far you have reached, how big your possession is, and how much money you have in the bank. It is how you look at things lightly. When you are afraid of what tomorrow brings, you feel whole of yourself, even in your incompleteness. And then you can be called contented. After having a deep understanding of life, that was the time I consider myself in my stage of contentment.
Very good. So, it's probably a continuum, isn't it? Us reaching and
Thank you.
maintaining that level of contentment. So, how about reading your poem, The Preferred Journey?
Okay, I tried to choose this poem. Maybe it would also, inspire people. The title is No Regrets. Here is it. My arduous journey of a lifetime, having no choice or the right to refuse. I was born to live and love for this mission. It's sometimes so heavy, yet full of adventure. In this journey, I have no way of turning back. I have to move, to go on and search my luck. As things get hard in this challenging situation, it's just a sign that I am now in a tunnel of success. One day I will wake up reminiscing wonderful memories. wonderful experiences of pains molded by its magical spices. I see myself smiling with things I remember from the past, the sweets of tension and things which were good and bad. I can see myself thanking even to the dark moon in my night. I thank the tears that cleansed my lens for me to look bright. I thank those unfaithful friends for leaving me a great lesson. And I thank the tears of life visiting me for a good reason. I have learned a lot about what life teaches me in this journey. To humble me, be grateful in all these things, and be merry. The measurement of success is the joy of heart, not the wealth. The best thing is to smile with the pain and have no regrets. That's it, Annette.
That's beautiful. Very lovely. Very lovely.
Thank you so
I can
much.
see why you're so popular internationally. You're right. So,
You're right.
So what would you say, if you could define poetry in one sentence, how would you define it?
I remember we posted that in our The Passion of Poetry, and it will be in the magazine. Yeah. You asked me, and the same question I have to give is, for me, poetry means a lyric of cascading emotions that flows like a symphony of one's soul.
And that is such a beautiful statement. When you wrote that, I looked at that statement and thought it's so artistic in so many ways. So, and that's what we do, isn't it? We create word art. So, wonderful. I love that. So,
Thank you.
what would you say is your greatest compliment?
Annette, the greatest compliment that I received came from a woman. I hope she's watching right now, who shines immensely by spreading so much love from her heart. I was so surprised when she mentioned my name during friend interviewed her in a website. The interview goes like this. Deb, do you have a favorite poem by any writer that has inspired you? And she answered this way. Susan, I met this wonderful poetess from the Philippines and named Helen Sarita. Her poem about her children and family made me cry. It had to have been the most beautiful poem I ever read. But then Susan Joyner Stumph was also inclined to know more about me, and three of us became good friends.
So that is very wonderful, and that is a great compliment, isn't it? That you could move people with your words and achieve that level, isn't it? And that they look at your words as something that's so inspiring. So you inspire many people, Helen. What made you busy today? Is your business, or what is your passion for poetry? What is it that kind of makes you tick in poetry and in life? What keeps you going?
Okay. And can you excuse me? I have to drink water. I'm coughing so hard. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry for our viewers.
Helen,
Because
Helen, just
I-
now.
I need to drink water. I can't extend this, postpone
Helen?
this interview, so I need to be, yeah.
I remember you take your time till then I can talk with Annette. Annette.
Okay.
It was
excuse-
Deborah and Suzanne who have introduced to us, and since then, since 6 years, we all are very good friends. Whether it is Deborah, Suzanne, Helen, or me, And it was Deborah who has brought all of us together. And it first our first book was, I think, Poetic Soul. From that we got connected at the our first book was also a very good success, and then it came she published the second book. Then after that she chose 7 ladies from around the world, including me and 2 more from India, then 2 from Philippines, 1 from Iran, 1 from Middle East, and then she published Women of Passion. And then the series went on: Women of Reflection, Women of Substance, United Sister, United
I'm sorry.
Sister,
I had a little. Go
United
ahead. I'm so
Sisterhood.
sorry.
And so we all came together, and this bond is growing day by day. We are still I did it.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, we all love each other as sisters. We a group we have had is it's still going now. United Global Sisterhood, is that right? United Global Sisterhood. And then can you please give me repeat your question, please?
Sure. What what keeps you busy? What is your passion regarding poetry, or what you do in life, and as far as your work? What keeps you going? What is your passion?
Okay. Um, Actually, I am busy with both, Annette. And not all have the idea that I am now studying. That there are a lot of things we can do that don't be affected by the negativity that wrote. Then I
So,
need to juggle all these things, and this occupied a lot of my time. I'm also busy with the online events organized by Dr. Shamenaz. I'm so active in the Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, and I love to be active also in PAP, your
you
PAP.
are. You're marvelous.
Not so, because lately, my schedule was so hectic, and then I need to juggle these things, and you know, um, dialysis twice a week. These are the things that fill a lot of my time.
So what helps you cope with all that? How do you cope with?
Embrace these challenges wholeheartedly. That is why coping with all these things is just for me. I am not proud people down to earth behind the achievements and popular of all of them.
Good that you have that support, isn't it? So that's
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Yes. So, you had a poem called "The Unity of
For will there be an ending to this abyss of distress that somehow would change to unity and happiness? Would be the writer's inks have enough power to transform the dusk into love and light vastness? Nothing impossible. That is the believers are standing for. Would the little ink left in our pens show its essence? Would be the calling of our passion also be a part of uniting nations? Can we speak out not to bash, but access to peace? Why can't we pray for races, cultures, and beliefs? That we aren't here to fight, and toward each principle we do have respect. That it is futile to use our fingers to point out others' faults and mistakes. Why we are so inclined to side with whom we stand for. It's time to look for the lives of our brethren and not to feed our hunger of power as we dwell on earth just temporarily. That whether we like it or not, we will leave this place bringing nothing and handling empty. Why we can't understand that we might be right and we might also be wrong. Show your talents not only in a contest, but in a context of unselfishness. Let us be a source of love in the form of art our one God has bestowed upon us. That's it.
So when I listen to that poem, the thing that strikes me is what power we have with our ink. And you say a lot of powerful things in that poem, and very inspiring, Helen. Thank you very much. It's quite lovely. And
Thank you.
so, what would you say with your achievements? What has been your greatest criticism?
Okay. Well, my greatest criticism came from those who can't find the goodness in themselves and they want to find flaws in others.
So compared to your first writing, have you noticed any changes in your style or your form or how you write?
Oh, well, as you know me so well, I make my living. I can't stop doing business because it keeps me active in the corporate world. I am passionate about helping, and that is impossible to do so if I also have less to share. But I know how to juggle these things out. I feel great even with my very hectic schedule. Writing is my stress reliever, and I usually do this when I travel, waiting for my flight boarding, and sometimes when I am waiting for a meeting schedule. People that I meet from day to day are opportunities in both my living and my passion. Every minute that passes is a blessing. So I never waste my time.
Very good. Something we can't get back either, is it? It's gone. It's gone. So very good. So when if you were to go into a bookstore, what section would you go into first and why?
Actually, I always bring myself to the business book section because I am thirsty for knowledge of the things that I am doing now. So I'm doing business. I want to be more inspired by those authors who have their, business issue like that. And but even if I am not equipped, for me, I always do an excellent job at the end of the day. It's always our attitude of work that matters.
Very good. Very good. Let's see. So focusing on your adventure as a writer and
I can't quit doing business, I think, because of my passion. I still need I still need to thrive for my family and for the people around me. And this busy time, I can delegate some work to my staff under my watch. And physically, I'm still capable. I'm not so old of doing hard works. Time flies so fast, and I need to ride its wings. When I ventured into publishing a magazine, I'm not thinking of, it is profitable. I am just feeding the passion within. I can stop fueling my ink because of this call. My thoughts refresh to write down my heart. I need to prove that we can do things possible if there's an intense desire in our hearts. Writing is the epitome of my soul, but I cannot leave my business. I need to, focus my business because this is the source of everything for now.
right. So one question I want to ask, a little off the stress and anxiety and things, is it a source of release for you in your writing?
Yeah.
Can you attain that?
Yeah, writing is my stress reliever. It makes me feel good after writing, and then I read what I write. I said that, oh my God, I feel complete. Writing makes me feel complete, and I able to release all those stress I have in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So you have a wonderful poem called Unstoppable. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, actually, I have. Actually, this is for a contest, but you told me that it's not. We as moderators of the passion of poetry. It's unstoppable. Out my heart, feel my whole. My ink long reticence is now unstoppable. This may be just words I scribble to express to a blank paper hunger of my heart's lyrics. The intenseness of its gravity gives a blaze, ornamenting my heart's obscurest grace. My pen now waltzing like twirling dervishes.
Addition, that will be to the Passion Poetry Anthology. That's beautiful, Helen. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. That's the latest poem that I have wrote.
It's beautiful, beautiful. So besides writing, what is your most favorite thing to do? What do you like to do?
Actually, Annette, if there's no restriction of travel, I really love to travel a lot and make friends around the world even. And because of the pandemic restriction, I let my ink travel the world for me. Meeting people who are lovers of art inspires me, and I dream of being, a guest speaker. And I did it. I was invited as a keynote speaker during the International Women's Day by the Narola Institute of Technology in India, and I called that a big success. But for now, what I want to do is
So you are a mother, and you are a mother, I think you said of 5, and you have grandchildren. And so you're a seasoned mother. And as a seasoned mother, what advice would you give to a person who's just starting out or who's anticipating becoming a mother?
well, you're asking if what's my advice? What would be my advice? Okay. I can, be an instrument to change the outlook of my friends or even acquaintances who are experiencing unpleasant situation and their battle of life, especially because we need to, you need to stand of this, of any sacrifices or whatever you will be encountering in your marriage life. We need to have faith, because no matter how difficult the situation is, a beautiful message what life is. So that's it. That's my,
Yes,
thank
wonderful
you.
answers. I'm going to give you another little curveball here, and it's not a difficult question. Since you've been married for several years, I take it. How many years have you been married?
Sorry.
How many years have you been married?
I forgot. It was 84, so let's say it's more than almost 40. It's 36 years in marriage.
So, to those of us who may not have had successful marriages, or others who are venturing perhaps into marriage someday, what piece of advice, one piece of advice would you give them into a successful marriage?
You need to, if you want to be successful, maybe you need to become a martyr. It's like that. You need not to be so, be dealing it so patiently, because it needs a lot of patience to keep the marriage. That's
Yeah.
it. It needs a lot of patience. It's up to you. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying or fall for another problem. There's no perfect marriage, so you better stay to the father
Side has lots of weeds in it and still needs to be loved. So, we just had International Women's Day. What would you? What is an empowered woman to you? What does that mean? An empowered woman.
For me, Annette, empowered woman is the one who knows to empower others. The one who encourages people, not only to women, but also to men. She must be the one to enable and encourage them to strive hard and not be dependent on anyone else. An empowered woman is not only determined, but independent.
Very good. your husband's been ill for a while, and you've always been by his side. And during that period of time, what has kind of helped you through those difficult times you've had?
Okay, that was a fascinating question to answer. My answer is that it made me strong and brave in life. I became more empowered and trustful. I gained respect from people who had less expectation of my strength and capabilities. I was able to endure projecting my life with much positivity towards my destination that my
I'm sure he's very fortunate to have you by his side.
he knows.
He knows, yes. That's right.
he knows.
It's for better or for worse. So, and you're there through all those times, those trials. So what would you give as a message to other poets and writers? What kind of take home?
Let us avoid jealousy and competing with each other, but support each other unselfishly instead. We know ourselves more than anyone else. Don't feel insecure because we have our own uniqueness and expertise. Don't be affected by other people's criticism as it will just hinder our growth. We can combine our talents to build a strong foundation for poets worldwide. The world is needing our strength, our skill, wisdom through the fascination of our incredible aims. Don't put money. This is the best thing that some are unity.
Yes, very good answers, and I think you're exactly right. We come
Yeah, it
together.
happened today. It happened nowadays in many groups. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the whole take-home message is be supportive, celebrating our differences, celebrating our likenesses, and just really support one another. So you had written a poem that made Deborah cry. Would you like
I remember.
Yeah.
I too
But
remember.
Before I read that,
I too remember, Helen. I remember.
you remember that, Dr. Shamenaz?
Yes,
Before
yes.
I read that, excuse me, please,
Yes.
Dr. Shamenaz, I wanna do something, and I have to take water. So
Can I read
it's a
them? Can I read
beautiful
them?
poem.
Can I read them? Okay. Nothing impossible in the heavens beneath. Bled my heart as my purse was thin and empty. Windows were only covered by sacks. That was how pity was we, and nothing could be found in every corner of our dinky shelter. Even tiny ashes of regrets couldn't be found in there. How bare it was! It was representing me. From there, I just learned to dream. Though not for me, but for them. I believe it's not late to create a nest for my coming children. Behind that huge mountain, I whispered my wishes for them. At night, as I gazed up the skies, I asked the stars to guide me in heading my way. I wish to be one of them. Carry sack on my shoulder. I climbed mountain. Love you, Helen. I shouted, use clothes.
Love you.
I shouted, use clothing for sale. I made donut, though I wasn't good enough. House to house, I was selling any stuff. Just enough to have fare and offering for a Sunday mass. And started to pray so intensely. I dazzled myself to the city. I know I could be more than me. My potential was heavy. If they can do it, why can't I? Yes, this is the motivation. I grabbed opportunity knocking on my door. I started to level up and learn for more. I patiently carried my life. I embraced obstacle and strive. My love for my children was simply my inspiration. By the wicked. For more I learned life. And even I learned to write. I even learned to write. I worked hard without limit. Still good. And like a mother eagle, I ventured across the sea. I soared the highest sky, rising to the great height. Wings, I am fearless, unafraid to venture my strength to this universe. I am their enduring queen. My lord, what a poem means. It's give me goosebump. What a poem. Helen's, my salute to you for your strongness, for your strength, for and everything. And this poem speaks, I think this is autobiographical poem. This speaks about your life, your strength, your struggle, and a very inspirational poem. This should be included in the textbook and in the feminist books of almost all the countries, so that each and every work hard and we can inspire other, like these my friends are inspiring other. So this is a message for each and every woman around the world. Don't give up, just strive hard, don't care about any situation, and the world is yours. If you will work hard, you will achieve the mountain, you will achieve whatever you deserve. So this is from team Blossom Journal. We are saying goodbye. Thank you everyone. Thank you for listening our interview. And thank you lovely ladies. Thank you Deborah and Suzanne and Helen. This is for you all, and this is for Deborah. You will be healthy soon, and we will again start our literary activities. And this is for you, Suzanne, for always supporting us in our publishing. So from team